All right, welcome back. UFC 290, Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. We got predictions, breakdowns, and finishing predictions, right? We're going to break it down. We got 5 main fights on the main card. Listen, before we start, please come support the channel, subscribe, like, comment. We appreciate it. And we're here, man. I'm in New Jersey. Mike's over in California at the new stellar apartment.
The new digs.
The new digs look good, man.
Yeah, bro.
How you liking it?
I love it, dude. It's comfortable. It's so comfortable, dude. It's like bigger. It's more. I threw so much shit away.
I'm sure.
You don't realize how much stuff you accumulate, dude.
That's the best part about moving, man. You get rid of a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, everything. Go sneakers, air fryers, like you name it, I got rid of it.
Well, I got my fighter metrics up. I'm ready to rock and roll. We go right from the bottom. We'll start with Bo Nickal. Sound good?
Yeah, well, there's really not much to break down, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, late replacement. He was supposed to fight Trajan Gore, who, he wasn't going to be, that I don't think that tough of an opponent for Bo, but at least it was a name brand kind of guy. Would have held up a little better when it comes to looking at the record, right? But late replacement, we got this guy named Val Woodburn, the animal.
Val Woodbum.
I don't know the guy at all. I know you did a little research on him. I know he's 7-0, but I mean, who is this guy for?
He's just a power puncher, dude. He's an athletic guy, power puncher. He's got no ability to stop the takedowns of Bo Nickal. It's literally going to be they're put him on a leash, dude. That's all they're doing. They're going to showcase him on the main card. They want to showcase him because they're not even taking him off the main card. You know what I mean? They're keeping him on the main card. This guy Woodbum is getting a main card spot on UFC 290. Think about that.
Yeah, and like you said before when we talked on the phone, when Gore pulled out, there was a couple of big names that said, "Hey, I'll get in there," like Chao Barajo, who's a tough guy. But the UFC wants to walk this guy in and not put him up against a dangerous opponent like Chao's tough, bro.
Take him off the main card, bro. Like, you know what? Put Jimmy Crute and Metafield on the main card then at the rematch at that point. Like, take him off the main card.
Madalena's on the prelim. You could
like you got guys like that deserve to be. This kid doesn't after this. Come on, I never heard of this guy.
No, I didn't either. So I fully expect to see Bo Nickal in full force wrestling. I see a first round submission happening here. It'll be another big thing for him, and the crowd cheering him on as the next guy. Even though he's beating a nobody, he's probably going to get a quick finish here. And like I said, I don't know the other guy, but from what you told me so far, this should be quick work for Bo.
Yeah, it's going to be quick work. I don't got nothing to add to that. I mean, I would say there's a possibility that maybe he gets like a ground and pound or something like that. Imagine he gets clipped somehow. Remember, somehow he gets clipped by this kid.
It's a fight game, bro. You don't know.
The guy's 7-0. He's got 5 KOs. So the guy's just a striker. But it's going to be Bo Nickal. He'll probably get it done first, second round. There's not much really to talk about there.
And that's it. That'll start the main card on the night. The next fight on the card is actually a really good fight. You got Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's a veteran. He's been around for a while. He's got rotated wins and losses, but when you look at who he's fought, I mean, he lost to Chandler, he lost to Makhachev, he lost to Brendan Allen. These are
Arnold Allen.
Sorry. I mean, this guy's lost against some really stellar opponents here. He beat Hackgrass, who's a tough guy. He beat Bo Ellis, okay, but now he's facing Jalen Turner. He beat Medic. He beat a tough Malarkey who's tough for anybody. He's that tough guy to get anybody out. Brad Riddell's on his way down. He lost to Gamrot. This is the kind of fight that Dan Hooker could pull out, and I'm not a huge Dan Hooker fan, but I feel like Turner's getting a little too much love on here, being a favorite. I think it's like -200, whatever it is. Hooker's a dog here. And going into this, I was leaning Dan Hooker anyway, and then me and you spoke on the phone a little bit about it. He said, I got this gut feeling about Hooker. This is the kind of fight that Dan Hooker could win. Turner's tough. This is a sneaky fight right here. This could be the fight of the night right here. Love this fight. I'm glad it's on the main card. But I'm going to be pulling for Hooker myself here, and I'm going to like Dan Hooker by decision, I'm going to call it.
Yeah, I was watching film on Jalen Turner, and I was like, because in the beginning, I got to be honest with you, in the beginning, I did another show previous to this the other day, and I picked Jalen Turner. And then I was like, let me really go in and really, really look. So I did. Like, I went and I started watching this film. Don't get me wrong, the guy's a rangy striker, 6'3", 77 foot. I mean, 7'7" southpaw. Like, that's a rangy dude. You know what I mean? But when I watched that fight against Gamrot, when you see a guy like Gamrot being able just to take him down at will, kind of whenever he wanted, even though Jalen Turner was getting up and he can be a little slippery on the ground. And then you look at Hooker, everybody looks at him like he's just like this straight striker. And he is. He's majority of the time the guy wants to stand and he wants to strike, but he does have grappling ability. Like, he does have some grappling ability. In the camp that he trains with, the people that he trains with, you know what I mean? Like, that is the smart approach here. I know he's taken a lot of damage. The thing with him, he's 33 years old. He's had a lot of damage in his career. You can't look at that Puelas fight too much because majority of the time Puelas was on his back trying to get leg locks and trying to call him into the guard. So you can't take that much into account for that. But where he wins this fight is charging the pocket. Like, as dangerous as that is for him, especially against someone like Jalen Turner, who can throw knees up the middle. He's long, he's rangy, he could sting him coming in. He's going to try to sting him, staying on the outside. This is a fight that if Dan Hooker can just crash the pocket and get inside and get, cage control, pin him against the cage, get a takedown, which is fairly easy with Jalen Turner. Like, this is a fight he can win. If he takes away the range and he doesn't get caught at the end of his punches and it's kind of coming in and he's getting clipped, but he's eluding most of them, I think he could win this fight. Like, I think if he makes this a dirty fight, because you got to remember, when you're on your back, your reach means nothing. He's got to put him on his back where he's got to get in very, very close, get clinchy with him, dirty box him, and then that's where I think he can really excel. I think listen. This is a really close fight. I'm going to say Hooker knocks him out.
You think that Hooker's gonna play that game, or he's gonna stay in Turner's range? Is he gonna be?
Well, here's the thing: you're going to know after the first minute or two who's going to win that fight. If he literally comes into that fight and he's playing the range game with him, he's going to lose. He's going to get caught with something. He's going to lose. But if he comes in and he literally looks to just kind of work his way in, crash the pocket, if you see him clinch up with him like in the first minute and a half, even if it's a failed takedown, but it's against the cage and he's making him wear his weight, then you know where his path is. If that's his path, I think he could beat him. I think he could take him down, maybe ground and pound, or maybe catch him with like a nasty elbow inside. So it really depends. And if he can't get the takedown and Jalen Turner kind of breaks free and utilizes the real estate of the cage, then yes, Jalen Turner's night all night. But this is like a dog or pass situation for me. Like, this fight should not be, where it is right now. Like,
I agree, and we'll just see. So this is a big fight, UFC 290 International Fight Week. A lot of emotions. You get your adrenaline rush. Hopefully,
might be a good live betting opportunity.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I hope Hooker pulls it out. I like Hooker. This is a tough fight, though, man. This is close. The line should be closer, I feel.
Yeah.
All right, now we got a great fight on the card. Well, is it a great fight or not? You got Robert Whittaker, Dricus du Plessis. Dricus is the kind of guy that you want to punch right in the face. I don't know what it is about him.
It's his fans, dude. It's his fans.
And then you got the great Robert Whittaker. The only guys Whittaker's really lost to was Adesanya twice. You look at who's du Plessis is making a name for himself, but you look at who he's beat, Perez, Trevin Giles, Tavares, Darren Till, who's been washed up, Derek Brunson, Derek No Chin Brunson. Those are his. Sure, he won 5 in a row, but that ain't murderer's row by any means. And then you look at Whittaker. Till, sure, Cannonier, Gastelum, lost Adesanya Vittori. Whittaker, like Adesanya, has pretty much blown through the whole division as well. He just can't get that nod against Adesanya. So, now if Whittaker wins this fight, are they going to give him Adesanya for the third time, especially after that second time where it didn't look good? He really got beat bad. Now if that happens, do they give Strickland a shot? If Whittaker wins, do they give Strickland a shot just to put somebody different in then? If Dricus wins, don't give him Adesanya. But I feel like the level of step up in competition here for Dricus compared to who he's fought to the great Robert Whittaker, this is not a step up. This is steps up in competition. I don't think Whittaker's anywhere near washed up. I don't think he's anywhere over the hill. He's a pleasure to watch. He's an elite fighter. And I fully expect to see the great Robert Whittaker Saturday night. And I think it's going to be a blowout. Like I see a 30-27. maybe a finish, but I think Whittaker wins this fight easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see where people are giving this kid a chance. I mean, I don't see him. I never saw, you know this. I never thought Duplessis was a good fighter.
Either.
I really never did. I thought that this is a guy who, yeah, he's won some fights, but yeah, he's beat Brunson. Not a terrible win. Darren Till, I mean, that aged terrible. Tavares, tough, but okay. Trevin Giles and Marcus Perez, who was great in LFA, but terrible in the UFC. So it's like, who's he really beaten? You know what I mean? So he goes from like kind of dog walking in the park to that mid-tier gatekeeper. Now he's all the way up here fighting the top, one of the top dogs. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't see where he beats him. I don't see him beat him any. The only way he wins this fight is if Whittaker gets caught, Whittaker got old overnight, or Whittaker's coming in with an injury. Those are the only three ways he beats Whittaker. That's it. That's the only three ways that he beats Whittaker. He gasses out. A lot of people don't even look at that. Like, this kid gasses out. This kid's been rocked. You know what I mean? He doesn't do anything great. He's a big kid. He's big for the division. He's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage. He's a switch fighter. You know, he does mix up, you know, the takedowns and stuff like that, but he's just not great at any one thing. You know what I mean? He's really not. He's really not great at any one thing, where Whittaker really has him in every aspect of the game. So if Whittaker loses this fight, you can guarantee it's either because he got caught, he was injured, because let's face it, he does have riddling injuries and stuff like that, or this guy just got old overnight. He has no business losing this fight. So I'm going to go Whittaker, but I think he does it by decision. I think he's going to be a little cautious in the beginning. I think Duplessis is powerful. You know what I mean? He is tricky. He is dangerous. So I think he's going to be very cautious. And then as he starts fading down the stretch, you're going to see Whittaker just start picking him apart any which way but loose, any which way he wants to. So probably be like 29, 28, 30, 27 Whittaker.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, dude, Whittaker's 32 years old.
Yeah, but he's been through it, dude. He's been through
I know he's been through it. I know he's got mileage, but
same thing with Hooker. Hooker's 33. He's been through it, you know?
Yeah, you know, sure they got mileage, but I mean, I think he's still got a lot of gas in the tank, man. I don't think he's nowhere near being done.
Remember when everybody picked Cannonier over him?
Come on, bro. And, you know, I mean, look, he's dying for that third shot against Izzy. I just don't think he can beat Izzy, man. And there's just something about
certain people that have your number.
Yeah, and when you watch them fight, especially that second one, it's like he couldn't solve the riddle the whole time. He couldn't get in on him. All his punches, he was reaching for him. Like, Adesanya just has him dialed in, man. Unfortunately, he's one of the smartest.
He's got a lot of people dialed in like that.
Yeah, he's just tough, man. He's just tough. So I mean, I'd like to see Whittaker get a third chance. I just don't think he could beat Izzy. I really don't.
No, he's the type. And you know what? He looks good. And then Izzy makes him look bad. It's just the style. It's the style. It's the way he moves. It's, if you ever watch him fight when he stands up, he's very phonetic, dude. He's not like graceful. He kind of like hops around this, that. And Izzy just stands there and he kind of picks and chooses. He dials in the pattern on which way you're going and just bing, bing, bing. And he just starts. It's the style that just doesn't sync right with Izzy's style. Even
that last fight, like every time he did hit Izzy, he barely hit him with the end of his punch.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a good clean punch. He had to constantly reach in and caught Izzy going back, and there wasn't a lot of clean shots. He didn't even hurt him.
And back when they fought, what was the path? Everyone was saying that Whittaker's got to get him to the ground. Now that he's got takedown defense and he can actually grapple, forget about it.
Yeah, he does. He got great takedown.
Yeah.
So Robert Whittaker by decision. I fully expect to see the great Robert Whittaker come through again. Next fight on the card. All right, now, my favorite fight on the card, Brandon Moreno, Alejandro Pantoja. Man, I love Pan. You got me onto him years ago when I really started watching a lot of UFC. I love this guy, Pantoja. You know, he's up on one with Moreno already. I know the fight was a while ago, but this guy, man, especially that last fight against Perez, man, when he came out like a storm, he beat Royval, he destroyed Kopp. He did lose to Askarov, but there's something about this kid. This kid's dying to get the title. And look, you know, Moreno is that tough Mexican, tough as they come. He's never out of any fight. You know, those 4 fights against Figueiredo, he destroyed Carl France. And I like Moreno. I like those tough Mexican guys, but there's something about Pantoja. Something tells me that his time is now. The guy deserved this title shot. I think he's going to come out victorious. I think it's going to be a tough fight. And Moreno's tough to put away. I don't know if Pantoja could put him away, but I expect to see a full firefight, explosion, amazing fight all the way through. And I think Pantoja comes through with a slim decision.
I agree with you. I think that but people got to understand what this fight is. They fought once before, and people are looking at that. They're looking at that as, well, the rematch. 70%, 80% of the time, people win the rematch. But this is exactly the philosophy that we talk about all the time. We say that, look, you only can go back like 4 to 5 fights and cut it off, because when he fought him in 2018 and beat him by decision, he was gone from the UFC after that. Moreno left the UFC.
Yep.
He fought somewhere else, and then he came back, and then he went from having a career in the beginning to now obviously going on a tear and winning the belt against Figueiredo. So, and if you look at the two fights, if you look at his fighting, his style of striking against Figueiredo, but you go back and watch a Pantoja fight, dude, it's night and day. I mean, he's so much more crisper. He's so much more fluid on his feet. Like, he's so much better of a fighter now than he was in 2018. But so is Pantoja. So is Pantoja. But the only thing is, you get a guy in Moreno who has lived in the Figueiredo stratosphere. For the
last 5 fights.
Yeah, 4 of the last fights. He's lived in that stratosphere where he's just constantly, so he hasn't really seen these different styles. It's like it's Figueiredo. Pantoja's the Roberto Duran of MMA, dude.
I like that comparison.
He is, dude. He's like the Roberto Duran of MMA. He doesn't look pretty on the feet. He doesn't have that like real pretty style on the feet. He's kind of reckless. He's kind of loose. He can be hit. His grappling is off the charts, but he's got good inside trips. He's got good timing on his takedowns. He's got power. He's durable. He's got a very good gas tank. Like, the guy is just not a talker. He's not one to be in front of a camera. He's not one to really be marketed. Like, he's just Pantoja. Like Duran. Duran wasn't a marketable guy. Like, he was just a great fighter. You knew if you signed to fight him, this is a fight. I just feel like Moreno's been there. Moreno had the taste. You know what I mean? Does he want to get this one back? Of course he does, because that's like the blemish on his record that kind of forced him out of the UFC, and you want to get rid. But this Pantoja's got a different kind of hunger about him right now, dude. Like, this is a different kind of hunger. Imagine beating somebody in 2018, beating him, and then watching him come back and get the belt. And you're sitting there like, what the hell? So this is a fight I think Pantoja wins. I think he wins this fight. I think this is a guy who deserves a shot at the title. He deserves the belt. I'll be upset if he doesn't win. I'll be honest with you.
Me too.
I'll be upset if he doesn't win, because I really think that he deserves now a little bit of shine and to get the strap. And I think he can hold the belt for a while too. I think he could be a good champion. So I'm going to go Pantoja. I don't think he's going to finish Moreno. I think Moreno's grappling is very, very good, very slippery, even though I think if he does catch Moreno, it'll be off of a clip. He clips him, maybe takes his back and chokes him out. But other than that, I just think that he's going to secure some takedowns. He's going to get some top control. That's going to kind of be the difference in the fight. He'll get the inside trips and him pushing forward. And I just, like I say, just think he's hungrier, dude. I just think he's hungrier for his opportunity. And he'll never, unless it's a war, it'll probably never happen again.
Well, the thing is that, the last fight against Alex Perez, Pantoja came out firing like a bat out of hell.
Yeah.
And, and this is not Alex Perez. This is Brandon Moreno. I don't think he could get the same result if he comes out firing like that. And Moreno,
no way.
So I don't think he's going to come out. He should be a little more cautious coming out, because I would not come out like that against Brandon Moreno.
Well, Perez is chinny, dude. Perez has got good wrestling, but he's chinny. But when you look at Moreno, this is a guy who's got slick grappling. He's got very good. You got to remember, he was a grappler first.
Yep. He
was a grappler first. His striking just started coming into the center point, and he's just turned out to be a very good striker now. But you put that kid on his back. You better have good hips. You better know how to control his hips, because that guard's never going to be closed, dude. It's always going to be open. He's going to be looking to slip out. He's going to be looking to shrimp away. So no, there's no way he's going to come out firing on all cylinders. He's going to come out and he's going to play this with a blueprint for sure. But I think he wins. I think it's as scary, because to kind of the whole to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ. Kind of scary if it's a close fight. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna take him anyway. Pantoja by decision.
Love this fight. I'm so excited for it. All right, main fight on the card. One of the greatest of all time. We could say that now. Alexander Volkanovski. I don't know how you can't root for this guy. I love this guy. I love his attitude. I love his mindset. I watch a lot of his YouTube videos. He's a lot of videos of him. He's a big steak guy, which I love that too. But the guy is just precision. Even there was a video of me watching him, and he was eating, and they were talking about how precise he is when he eats. Like, he takes a little piece of the mushroom and a piece of the egg, and every single piece of meal has to be perfectly tasted. Like, that's the way the guy operates his whole life, his training. He's constantly looking for perfection. He won a lot of fans over with that Makhachev fight, especially the way it ended at the end with him on top of Makhachev. Man, that was a close fight too. He almost pulled that off. Huge fan of Volkanovski, who can't be after watching him against Ortega. What he destroyed Max Holloway that last time. You know, Yair Rodriguez, though, he's good, bro. He's not. This is not. Volkanovski is an amazing fighter. He's one of the best of all time. We could say that. Pound for pound, he's number 2 or number 1, whatever he is right now. I think he's still number 1. But Yair is a different dynamic kind of fighter, man. He has a little bit of that Michel Pereira kind of in him, but not as wild. You know how Pereira just wastes some of those stupid things? He does these crazy things, but they're not wasted. He actually lands these crazy.
He's like a mix between Michel Pereira, Alex Caceres, and Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, exactly. He's wild, but it's not wild where he leaves himself open with his chin hanging out there. He's a dynamic guy. And I don't think Volkanovski is dumb to overlook him. He's smarter than that. He takes every fight seriously. But, you know, I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I could see Volkanovski in the 3rd and 4th round, his cardio just really start to show, because, you know, that guy's gas tank he has gas tank for days. But I do think the first 2 rounds are a little close as Volkanovski starts to figure him out. But then I expect in rounds 3, 4, and 5 for him to really come on, put the pressure on, and then be in like full dominant force, like the second half of round 4 and the whole round 5, and win a pretty clear decision. But I don't think this is an easy fight by any means, but I can't pick against Volk here either. I'm going to say Volkanovski by decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I honestly think the line should be wider, to be honest with you. Like,
what's the line on this fight?
Like minus 400.
Is it minus? That's a lot for anybody, man. Championship.
I think it should be wider. I think it should be wider.
Wow, do you?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people aren't taking this into account. Like, they look at him like he's he's really a small guy. When he comes into the cage, he's a small guy. But do you know only one fighter in his career has bested him in reach? He's had the reach advantage over everybody, dude. Or even in this fight, when people say that Yair's he's going to be a longer fighter, they got the same exact reach advantage, bro. He's got a freakishly long arms for his size, bro. You know what I mean? So this is a guy who also came out when he first came to the UFC. They looked at him like a pressure wrestler, like the rugby guy coming in, charging the pocket, you know, brutal, strong. If you look at Yair's history, dude, like, he beats Josh Emmett, a guy who's just kind of like a powerful pocket guy. You know, he beat Ortega, which, I'm not going to say it. He loses to Holloway, who's kind of real, you know, well-dimensioned on the feet, moving around a lot, using his jabs. What's that?
Close fight.
But you know what I mean? Like, he loses that fight. He beats Jeremy Stevens, another guy, powerful pocket guy, just kind of plods forward where he can be dynamic and he can do his thing. He beats Korean Zombie in a fight that he was losing with that up elbow that was, I don't care what anyone says. Dude, that up elbow, he did not mean to do that, dude. There's no way that he meant to do that. Even if, like, come on, you really think about that, bro. Like, you really think that wasn't right time, right place? That's a 1 in a million shot. What?
It was right time, right place.
It was 1 in a million shot, that elbow. You know what I mean? He was losing that fight against Korean Zombie. Another guy was kind of all over the place, you know. So this is a situation here where, you know, Frankie Edgar, another guy who's able to just get in and out and just kind of bully him around. This is exactly going to be the same thing. This is going to be like a carbon copy, I think, of maybe not as bad because he's a much better fighter now. He kind of matured. But I think what Volkanovski did, I mean, what Edgar did to him, I think Volkanovski is going to do to him. I think that he's going to tag him up at range. I think he knows he doesn't want to stand 5 rounds with this kid. Why would you want to? You know what I mean? I think he's just going to use his muscularity, his strength, his size to just ragdoll this kid to the ground and you know, and see what he has on the ground. Maybe he'll be able to slip out of some situations, but his path to victory to me is he's going to feel him out, taste his power, see how his reach is comparing with his, see how long he's fighting. see what, you want to taste his power, you want to see what he's doing. But then eventually I think he's just going to take this to the ground and he's going to run out of tricks. It's almost like what happened with when he fought Edgar. I keep bringing back to the Edgar thing, but he just ran out of tricks.
Yep.
Just ran out of tricks. I think that's what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Volkanovski finishes him late. I got to be honest with you. If like really puts it on him, bro, and finishes him late. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was a decision either. But I don't, like I said, I think this is a fun fight, but I don't think it's going to be a fight. Like I think Volkanovski is going to work this kid, dude. Like I think he's going to work him.
I think so too. And
in 5 rounds, if it goes 5 rounds, I say that Yair wins 1 round.
I'm not arguing with you.
Maybe the feel out round.
The feel out round, yeah. I'd like to say I expect Volkanovski to win, and then I think they're going to give Topuria a shot. Make her for a good fight. So anyway, I'm excited for the card. I'm back on Saturday. Can't wait to watch it. There's some good fights on the prelims. You got Jimmy Crute, Menafield, that rematch that never happened. You got Nico Price, Robbie Lawler. I know Lawler's old, but that should be a wild fight too. You got Jack Maddalena fighting, so it'll be a good night overall. We got a great main card. I'm excited, but I fully expect Pantoja, and I expect Whittaker and Pantoja. I expect to win. I expect Volkanovski to win, Bo Nickal to roll, and a great fight with Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker. So I'm really looking forward to it. And guys, if you guys don't know who we are, we're from the MadLab, MMA.com. Click on the link below in the description. We have a special going on right now. You could buy the pass for the week and get all the predictions, all the leans, all the DFS stuff that Mike does, all the breakdowns, the heavyweights. Come join us in Discord. Watch the fights with us with all our great members and fight fans. We have a great time. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. We love for you guys to comment on the video here. And any closing thoughts on UFC 290 here, Mike?
Well, yeah, we got a couple more videos coming out this week too. So we have obviously this. We have another show that I'm going to be doing with Showdown Christine, which is we're going to be covering the main card DFS. So look out for that. I'm also going to do a video outside of this on the whole Jamel Charlo Canelo thing.
I didn't know that he was fighting his brother and not Jamal.
He was supposed to fight Jamel Charlo.
Yeah.
And then they pivoted off now. Now he's fighting Jamel. And Jamel's been off for 14 months. He's a natural 154. He still hasn't taken his mandatory against David Benavidez. Dude, like, wait till you see this video. I'm going to get hot on this video. So I'm going to do a video on that. And then
why did the other Charlo pull out?
I don't think he pulled out. I think Canelo didn't come to terms.
That's bullshit, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. This is what he does, dude. This is what he does. That's why. I mean, that was a fight that would have solidified him saying, all right, this because he signed a 3-fight deal, dude. He signed a 3-fight deal. And Charlo was supposed to be on the docket, like at top. I don't even think he was going to fight Benavidez in that whole 3-fight deal. I think it was going to be like Charlo. It definitely wasn't going to be him. But this is bad for Charlo too, because Charlo's 154, 14 months off, had a hand injury. He's been milking that. If he fights Canelo, dude, he ain't coming. He's going to take his sweet old time. He's going to cash in a couple $1 million. He ain't coming back for a while.
You would think that at this stage in his career, Canelo, he's made all the money in the world. Isn't it about legacy now and just fighting the best guys out there?
Or is it about what Mayweather did, where at the end of his career, he just wanted to protect that 50-0?
Oh, man. I don't like it. Fight the best. That's the problem with boxing, man. See, UFC, they call the shots, man. You're fighting the best no matter what.
Yeah, but look what they're doing with Bo Nickal. I mean, come on. Give the kid somebody of reason, dude. Like
hold on. But in all fairness, I thought Trezion Gore was a good, a named guy to at least put in there.
It was okay. I mean, he would have starched him too. But I mean, they give him
after this fight, they better put a decent name in front of him.
Yeah, they give him Jamie Pickett. They give him Trezion Gore. They got it. Like, I mean, come on. If this kid's so good, if you give him somebody like decent, you know what I mean? Give him someone on the level of like I'm just gonna say a name, not weight division, but almost like a Gerald Meerschaert. Like you did it to Cosma, you threw him against guys like that. Throw him against somebody like that. Yeah. Somebody in the mid-tier, like a Max Griffin type of guy. Not that they're in the same weight division. I'm just saying that kind of name value. Who the fuck is this guy? Van fucking Bum.
We'll find out. It might be the shock of the century.
Yeah, so we got a couple videos coming out this week, and then me and Anthony, discuss something that I'm going to be doing. So the channel is going to be very active. We're doing what are we naming it?
30 videos in 30 days.
30 videos in 30 days. So I'm going to be doing 30 videos in 30 days of July. They might not be every day loaded. They might be like 2 a day, a couple of days off. But I'll be doing 30 videos in July, posting them up, all different news, notes, whether it's
All
boxing.
kinds of cool stuff, different arguments about the GOATs and new prospects, up and coming future champ predictions, just all kinds of cool stuff around MMA and UFC and stuff that we love to talk about and things that the fans want to hear about too. So it's going to be fun.
All right, cool. All right, man.
All right, guys, let's rock and roll.
You're coming home Saturday?
Saturday, baby. Come home, 3:30. Get in the car, go home, turn on the fights. Let's go.
All right, let's have a good weekend. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Later, bro.